You wanna come up? Okay, the puppy dog wants to be in. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caira, and I make videos all about small space living, apartments, Chicago, and Trader Joe's. I am so excited to make this video today. I posted on my Instagram, go follow me on my Instagram, the other day, and was just answering like a couple like basic questions about moving to Chicago and using a leasing agent. If you didn't know, I am a leasing agent with Compass here in the city, so I have all of that background. I realized when I was answering those questions that there's a lot of like very basic information that I assume people know because I live in this like leasing world and I do it every single day. But I realized for people who move from out of state and have never worked with a leasing agent before or are moving in Chicago even, there's just a lot of stuff that people don't know. And I didn't know it when I came to Chicago either. I asked you guys to ask me all of your Chicago moving questions and you guys came out of the woodworks. You guys gave me so many good questions. So I was gonna make this a one-part video, but honestly, you guys gave me so many questions. This is going to be a two-part video on everything you need to know about moving to Chicago. I have my coffee, an oat milk latte, and I'm excited and I'm ready to go. Really quick, I did want to tell you about my beautiful plant babies back here. So these are from Modern Garden. Modern Garden is an online plant store where you can buy plants and they ship them directly to you. They sent me 2 of their plants that are pet friendly and they came in these super cool vases and I just really like them. I'll pop up a clip right here so you can see like the unboxing process from when Alex and I received our plants. It was super cool. They brought them to us so safely. But what's really awesome is Modern Garden wants to partner with me and do a giveaway over on my Instagram. So when you are seeing this video right now, that giveaway is live, so definitely go over to my Instagram, read the caption, all of the instructions will be in there just to give you guys an extra incentive. If you are subscribed to my channel, comment down below here for a bonus entry, and they're giving away, is it a $200 gift card? I think that's right, but that's like so much money. Oh my gosh, they are. $200 to Modern Garden, and you can get whatever plans you want with that 200 bucks. That's so awesome. I want $200 to Modern Garden. Go check out my Instagram post, enter my giveaway, comment down below. If you do comment down below, make sure to include your Instagram handle so that way I know it's you and I can give you that extra entry. Okay, let's answer questions now. So excited. Louis was being very attention needy and decided he needed his own chair to sit next to me. So this is where we're at. One of the most common questions I got was how early should you start the renting process? The easy answer for this is there's not really a time that's like too early. You can reach out to a leasing agent like me anytime and just like get in their books and start like getting to know each other and making it so that way they know all the things you want. However, buildings typically won't know their inventory until like 2 months out. Most buildings require 60-day notice. So if you're farther than 60 days out, buildings won't know what apartments that they'll have available for your move time frame. Also, that being said, a lot of buildings will offer different like rent concessions where if you move into the building before the end of the month or before the 15th of the next month or something, they'll offer you like a month free or 2 months free. So if you're trying to look like too far ahead than that, then you really miss out on these rent concessions, which can save you a ton of money. When you're thinking about some of these apartments are like $2,000, $2,500, saving a month's rent is a huge chunk of cash to be able to save. A lot of times I'll get people who they're not gonna be moving for a couple months, but they wanna come out to the city and they wanna tour the apartments that they're interested in, just that way they can get like a vibe of the buildings. This isn't necessarily a bad idea, but you have to keep in mind a lot of the buildings also offer a look and lease special. So there's these 2 types of specials, the rent concession, which will typically be like 6 weeks free or a month free or things like that. And then there's your look and lease special. The look and lease special is gonna be something where you tour and the apartment building will say, if you apply to our building within 24, 48 hours, by end of day, they can make up their own rules, then they'll credit you back your admin fee. Maybe they'll offer you a $1,000 look and lease special. They might offer you 6 months free parking. There's all sorts of different look and lease specials that can happen, but that will take place at the time of your tour. So if you're touring like 6 months ahead of time, you don't even know what apartments they're gonna have available for your move time, and you don't know what the prices are gonna be or anything. So you'll miss out on the opportunity to take advantage of that look and lease special unless you do it right when you're actually looking to apply for an apartment. Another question was, how do you know how much to spend? Like what percentage of rent is normal? So most buildings will require somewhere between 2.5 to 3.5 times the rent as your gross income. So say your apartment is $1,000, then a building will either require that you make gross income of $2,500 or $3,500 a month to prove that you're able to pay that. If you are moving into an apartment with somebody else, then that just needs to be your combined combined income. It doesn't matter. I've had people ask me like, does it need to be split 50-50 if it's two people? No, that's totally up to you. One person can make all the income, one person cannot make any income if that's what works better. There's also always the option of if you're trying to get an apartment and it's just a little bit over what your gross income is, you can have somebody co-sign, whether it's a parent or a family member, somebody to say, if all hell breaks loose and this person's not able to pay their rent, I am signing that I will pay the rent for them. Also, if you're moving to the city, and say you're moving to the city because you got a job and you haven't started that job yet, and so you're not able to prove the income that's needed for that building, usually they'll ask for pay stubs. You can also always use an offer letter and that will be accepted. If you're a student moving to the city and you are using student loans to pay for your housing, you can show proof of your loans and how much money they're giving you to be able to do proof of income. There's lots of different ways. This is something that, say I take you out and we figure out what budget you're comfortable with and we go and tour buildings. Once you apply to a building, I'll tell you like send them everything you have and then they'll come back to you with any questions and we'll let you know like specifics on what they need. But as long as your application's through the door, then that part of it's done and the building will let you know specific details because every building is different. I got a lot of questions on what areas to avoid, neighborhoods to avoid, that whole sort of thing, and also like favorite neighborhoods. So let's tackle the neighborhoods to avoid first. This gets tricky. Legally, as a leasing agent, I'm not allowed to say, I don't even know how to put this correctly. I'm not allowed to say like, don't live here, live here, based on a lot of different criteria. Like fair housing, I just have to be super, super aware of that on everything I say. Things I can tell you is if you're working with a leasing agent, particularly me, I can't speak for every leasing agent out there, I don't know, but I will only put you in somewhere that I would live and that I would feel safe living. I can give recommendations on like my personal favorite areas, but I'm not allowed to tell you like, oh, if you're in this age bracket and if you're a student and like if you have children, like here's the areas I'd live. That's illegal. Literally not allowed to do that. But I can say, this is my age, this is my current situation, these are areas I personally love. So that's always like the way that I go around it. Places to avoid, you can't really name those for you. I will say, personally, I live in River North. I love the like northern and western parts of the loop. Like once you get north of the loop or west of the loop, I also love South Loop. I love anywhere close to the L, so that way you can easily take transit anywhere because I don't have a car and I wouldn't want to be like somewhere far out in the burbs because I don't have a car, and it's just super, super easy and walkable down where I live. Some of my favorite neighborhoods that I always want to point out for people, River North is great because it's super, super accessible to everywhere. There are 3 train lines like within a couple blocks of my building, as well as if I go just a couple blocks down towards the lake, there's Clarkin Lake and literally every train line runs through there. There's also tons of buses that come through here. I just feel like it's a really good central area. That being said, it is quite a bit more bougie. Like there's a lot of hotels around here, so a lot of the restaurants are like more upscale. There's less of like the hole in the wall areas, which is something I really love. But for that, we just like get on a bus or a train and go to somewhere else in the city. Old Town has a lot of really popular bars. Lincoln Park is near DePaul, so like there is college there. Lakeview is very beautiful and you have access to the lake really easily right there, as you do with Lincoln Park, and it can be a little bit quieter. I also love Uptown. Like that's a super cool neighborhood and has like all of my favorite Asian grocery stores and tons of great restaurants. Wicker Park, super fun, very divey bar scene. West Loop is great because you have all of like the more like famous restaurants, like the Girl and the Goat restaurants and all sorts of good stuff over there. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have not found a neighborhood in Chicago that I wouldn't want to live in. I absolutely love everywhere in Chicago. It's just such a cool city. All of the pockets of neighborhoods are so fun. I don't know, you just can't go wrong. At least I won't let you go wrong. I won't. But no, I love the city as a whole. Okay, this one's good. How long does it take to get everything done, lease, place, etc.? The process typically will start, you reach out to a leasing agent, you'll hop on the phone and you'll tell them everything that they need to know about what you're looking for. Well, so I say that, I don't know that every leasing agent would get you on the phone. I'm basically just telling you what I do because every leasing agent, just so you guys understand, we all will fall under a brokerage. Like my brokerage is Compass, but we are our own entity. So basically like I run my own business. No one's clocking my hours. No one is like making sure I do a certain amount of closings in a month. I'm just like held to the leasing standards. Like I have to follow all of the rules and compliance that they give out. But besides that, no one's telling me to get on the phone. No one's making these rules for me. This is just like, I know customer service and I know how to do it. Anyways, how it works is you'd reach out to me, I get you on the phone. I will ask you like every question I need to know about like budget, areas, what size apartment you want. Do you need a dishwasher, laundry and unit, parking, pet? These are all things that are really important. And then from there, I would send you probably about like 5-ish places that I think are a really good fit for you. And I would tell you to narrow narrow it down to like no more than 3 or 4. Trust me on this. I know people like literally want to be like, I want to see every building. Like I want to know exactly what all of my options are. You don't. Like trust me, you don't. After seeing 3 buildings, you will be dead. Like you'll be so tired and they'll all start to blur together. I'm only going to give you like the best options out there and you're not going to be unhappy. I promise. Pick your top 3 to 4 and then what we do is we would schedule a day to go tour them. I'll set up like the tours with all the places. I'll tell you where to meet me. We'll go around, we'll tour all the buildings, but I'll have you prepped that when you're touring, make sure you are ready to apply that day or in the next day because these buildings will offer those look and lease specials I mentioned earlier. I'll have you like prepped, you'll have all your paperwork and everything that you need to be able to apply known, and like you'll really go in there like more focused. Once you do all the tours and everything, we can chat, you'll go home, decompress, call me, let me know, we can text, you'll come up with the one that's your favorite. Everybody always does. It's pretty easy to tell after you tour a couple places, like one of them will feel like home. The decision-making part, I feel like everybody gets stuck up on it and they're like, what if I don't know? And I'm like, you will know, trust me, you'll know. You'll walk into somewhere and you'll be like, this feels like home. You'll go home and you'll apply. When you apply, typically for most buildings, it's like a $60 application fee and that will run your background check, which will check your credit for any felonies, fraud, that sort of thing. And then they'll also do a, typically like a $450 admin fee. These prices can change building to building, but like I'd say approximately this is what it is. You'll pay the $450 admin fee. Some buildings, if you're doing the look and lease, that fee is completely waived and you don't pay it at all. Other buildings, you pay it up front, but then they credit it back to you so that $450 can go towards your first month's rent. It's different everywhere you go. So like these things are like gonna be niche to the buildings, but you'll put in that application. Then I would say it takes about 2 to 3 business days for them to get the background check back. That's something that these buildings outsource. And so they'll go and do the background check. They'll come back to you. They'll basically either tell you like you've been approved or you've been conditionally approved, which would mean that you are approved. However, your income isn't showing exactly correctly for what they need. And so like they need other documentation or something. And then let's just jump ahead and say you are approved or you're conditionally approved and you give it your background information so that way you are now approved. They would send over the lease. You'll read over the lease, make sure everything looks correct, and then sign your lease, send it back. It can be done as quickly as like less than 5 business days. I've had people who toured one weekend and then moved in on the next. I'd say it could even be done like a little bit quicker than that if you really needed it to, but also like if you're not in a huge rush, then these steps can take a little bit longer. There's no like exact math on it, but that's like the process from beginning to end of like finding you an apartment. And then you move in and then you're happy. Ta-da! Another common question, best time of year to move for apartment deals. When's the best time in the year to move to Chicago in terms of finding the best deals on rent? Winter. 100% winter. No one wants to move to the city in winter. It's currently snowing outside. People just see that as like a really non-ideal time of the year for the move. To me, I don't see how it matters. You're gonna save so much money on your rent if you move in winter that like use that money and get movers so that way they move your stuff in and then it doesn't change anything for you. Also had other people who were like, oh, I want to move in summer because like I'm not excited about living in Chicago in winter, and I'm like, your lease is gonna be a year. Like you're gonna hit winter some way or another. Like I mentioned, these rent concessions, buildings will offer, I've seen as high as 3 months off on a 12-month lease if you move in winter. Sometimes if you're moving in summer, you won't get any time off of your rent, and so it's a huge chunk of money. Like you're literally saving a whole quarter of your lease because you're moving in winter. If you are someone who's like on the fence and deciding between the two, highly recommend moving in winter. This year's an anomaly. I literally have no idea what's gonna happen. Let me also preface with that. COVID has just thrown like the entire market upside down, and apartments that were renting for like $3,000 last year are now renting for $1,700 right now. So COVID's throwing everything off. I have no idea. If things get worse and offices continue closing down, rent this next summer of 2021 might be even lower than it is right now, or it might jump back up. Like I can't tell you which way the market's gonna go. 2020 is too crazy. I do not have the answers, but generally, like rule of thumb, it's always safe to know winter is the best time of year to get the best deals. I have so many questions. I could keep going on and on and on, and I'm going to, but in a second video. So now I'm doing this, it might be a 2-parter, it might be a 3-parter. I don't know, there's a lot of questions going on here. I'm gonna end this video here. If you have any other questions for me, comment them down below or DM me on Instagram. I have like a running list of questions now, and I'll just add it in. We'll keep these videos going. I'll answer everything you have. This has been awesome for me, and I like love feeling like I'm helping you. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also go over and follow me on Instagram Instagram. I post tons more apartment content over there. Also follow me on Twitch. I do Cooking with Kai live streaming 2 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you haven't, obviously hit the big red subscribe button. I am your Chicago apartment Sherpa. Let me help you find a place, learn from me, hang out with me, be my best friend, virtual BFFs. Hey, that was a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.